in one right now because, of course, I can't say that. but you can see the signs of things when they're not going right. And when I urge people in my channel, like, um, take advantage of the fact that you are in a place where you have freedom of speech, and you have the right to exercise your vote. And it is a shame. You know why I was so angry when my son's vote was hijacked, pretty much? Because that was my son. That was my son's vote. And it reminded me pretty much of countries where they do that. And it shouldn't be happening in a place like the United States of America. You know what I mean?
Oh, I went full tinfoil hat answer on somebody in the comment section about that. I thought I'd save the image, but someone was talking about, it couldn't have happened to Paula's son, this, that, and the next thing, this, that, and the next thing.
I did videos about it. I did videos about it in Norway because this happened in 2020. All they have to do is go. I have the receipts, I have the emails, I have the letters. I even did a video. I actually did content about it. I went to the US embassy. Everything was really funny.
Yeah, no, I wasn't defending you by giving them ways for it to be proved. I'm not wasting my time with giving people ways to solve their problems if they're narrow-minded. But it was 100% based on the fact that they were saying it couldn't have happened, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are you that nuts that you can't understand the larger picture of the concept of a secret government, the concept of these conspiracies being real, the puppet strings that pull the people that are put in front of the cameras for us, and all the rest of it? Because that's what or it could have been a lot simpler, and it could have been a data scam. Right. Either or.
I want to tell you something. I have to be very, very upfront about this. Before it happened to Henrik, I thought people were full of S. I thought that's people are really going insane. I gotta be honest. I even did a couple of videos about. I'm not kidding you. If you go back to my early videos on Norway, I was in Norway in 2020.
Sorry,
and I was like, no. People are, people should chill the F out, and just quit saying all those crazy things because they make us look crazy, right? And then it happened to my son, and like, this gotta be a joke. I mean, we triple checked the everything, by the time we got to the US embassy, and I can get in Oslo. I mean, I'm giving you dates and times and everything. I mean, I'm naming things because I can, and by the time we got there, I just felt so angry because I thought, first, I've been talking that it doesn't happen in the United States and stuff like that. I've been on and on and on. How people were crazy about it, making up all these stories and stuff. And then it happened, and it was like, I have to eat my words, and go back in there and say, and then I showed the emails, I showed the things, I showed the letters, I even showed a little bit. You can't show inside the US embassy in Oslo because they always take your phones and before you go into the US embassy everywhere in the world, right? So, but we did that, and I showed it me coming out of the US embassy. I showed myself very angry, and stuff like that. So it was very, very, and Henrik right now he's voting again, because, it's the election. But it's, I really don't, this is why I changed my stance on, you have to vote in person. You really have to vote in person. You have to check your ID. They have to check your finger, your how do you say, your fingerprint?
Yeah, your footprint. Yeah, Paula. You rub your thumb and it's called your footprint, Paula. How funny is the way the brain works?
No. I have to eat my words. I gladly ate my words. I gladly ate my words. I said, you know what? I apologize to people for being so hard on them about being conspiracy theorists and all kinds of things. I have those videos up, and then I was so angry about it.
Your Twitter is on fire this morning, Paula. I just want to point that out. I just say, I'm assuming it's all the people from Twitter that are commenting from you. I just want to say as well, the guy that says, "Hey, Paula," he's got the same birth name as me. Big shout out to Rocco. Freaking all the Roccos, man. I'm feeling it. But yeah, there's a lot. We don't usually get this many people chatting on Twitter.
I posted the live stream to Twitter.
We're on Sean's Twitter as well. But I don't often see anybody, so I'm assuming it's your Twitter, and people are just on fire this morning.
No, but you know what? I don't mind. And the thing is, people think, "Oh, you're for Trump," so I did not like Trump because he fired an apprentice. I used to watch The Apprentice.
And you're still holding a grudge, Paula. Unbelievable.
I don't like when he fired that person. I was like, why did you fire him? It's like,
and now he's dead to you.
Listen, and I don't think we ever have to say that we like a politician. When you're served like 2 different sandwiches, right? And you have to eat one of the sandwiches, okay? And one of them has less turd on it than the other sandwich. You're going to eat the sandwich with the less amount of stuff on it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
So
gotta admit, I was so angry, and I was so angry because I remember when he was not when he ran for president. It's like, and then I liked his policies on NATO. I really do believe the United States is carrying because I worked in NATO, and I know the shenanigans they get up to there, and I know that the United States is
Do they
pretty much
have naughty parties in NATO?
no. Not only that, the United States, you guys are paying so much money. You guys, and Trump is right in that one. You guys, the United States is carrying NATO pretty much. So a lot of finances of you. So why would that is actually, guys, and NATO doesn't really do much, really. It's very much politicians saying that NATO, they condemn a lot, but they don't really do anything.
my father is Italian.
So yeah, I like that. I like that he didn't start any wars. That I think is one of the first few presidents that hasn't
He's the
started.
only, yeah. I mean, he's the only one at the moment. I think actually.
And I have a son, and I have a son, and I think as a mom, and I have friends that have kids Marines, and one of them just passed away. He came back and he self-exited because he had a lot of PTSD, and they tried to save him, but he didn't make it. And it's something, I have a lot of friends that are Marines or former Marines. And I see my friends have moms that are Marines and they're still at war, and they don't sleep at night. They don't sleep at night. They wait for that phone call for their kids, from the
Yeah.
and for me, this is why, guys, the people who are veterans or any military, I will trash anybody who bashes them, because
Yeah.
these people are not there for politics. They're there to keep us safe. So when politicians play with them
Correct.
and their lives, that really bothers
Yes, Paula. Big shout out, big
yeah.
ones in the chat for Paula there, because that is, yeah, you
Well,
nailed that.
they're talking about conscription here, aren't they?
They were, but it's
They
gone now.
were, but I mean, I'm not really down for that. I don't want my son going to war.
Nah. If all of my kids were past the age of being able to get sent for it, I would probably be up for it.
Well, in Norway,
Not until then, man.
Or they could send all the people that are in prison to war. That would be fun.
No, well,
wouldn't
it's
it?
like the conservative,
all the criminals.
It's the conservative liberal argument, Victoria. With my children, very conservative. With other people's children and the rest of the world, incredibly liberal, right? So once all my kids are past the age of being sent out to war, bring it in, baby. Bring it in. Bring it in. We need to sort out something. No, I'm only kidding. I'm not
the babies.
I am not down for the what the hell do they call it? Drafting?
Conscription, drafting. Conscription.
Do you know that in Norway
I'm not
it is
down with that.
mandatory?
I'm not down
Not
with that.
down
I'll
with
make jokes about it, but I ain't down about it.
It's pretty. It's pretty
But
scary
in
stuff.
Norway, it's mandatory. My son actually.
It is in some countries. Yeah, it's
Norway is
mandatory.
mandatory. Yeah, and the only way you can.
You're not funny either, Jessica. All right, I hang out on the internet with my friends, Jessica. All right, you're just there by yourself typing hate into the side chat, Jessica. All right, Jessica.
Come on, Jessica. But in Norway, because my son had to at 17 you have to go when you get out of high school, right? And then if you unless you're studying, so you have to show that you're studying. For example, if you enlist, if you go to do 1 year just to avoid being enlisted, and then you just dropped out of university, you're going in, buddy.
We're just testing some features, mate. It's we're just testing features.
Oh, that's quite
also today.
Audience,
Today, if you are on my Discord, we're going to be trialing some voice chat stuff with people that we're familiar with, just so you know. But Lisa, if nobody volunteers, you'll be dragged into that. So I'm just letting you know. So just a heads up there, because eventually, as we open up the Discord and more of you join, there's like a level experience system where the more you interact and talk on the Discord, you get points that give you a level. And once you get to a certain number, you'll be sort of known as a safe individual who, if you want to come and join us on the Daily Show for the phone-in sections and things like that, you're more than welcome to do so.
And then you get access to Ron's house as well.
No. That's a different app altogether, right? But what we want to do is create that community where we can have a lot more of you interacting. And again, there's a strict don't be a DICK rule, okay? But it doesn't mean that you're allowed to disagree and be there and exist with humans and things like this. But again, if you're there to cause any issues, we will have your mobile number, your name, like literally every possible piece of database, digital information is required for you to gain access. So it puts off a lot of people that will come in and perhaps try and take a pee in one's cornflakes, metaphorically speaking. So
Ron,
looking
can
forward
you
to that.
imagine Meghan Markle in a key government position? The problem is she would have to move from Montecito and go to Washington. Meghan does Washington. Can you imagine that? That sounds like a corn movie, doesn't it? Meghan
Listen,
does
yeah,
Washington.
but that's not Megan's fault. Okay, you put a woman's name, a place, and the word "does" in the middle. Okay, and you've got it right. You've got it right there. You know what I'm saying? Sean is back this evening. He has got a show tonight at 9:00. We just covered this morning. I'll fire it back up for you right now. Joe Biden dead. Trump assassination phone linked to the FBI building. Sean is hopefully going to be back all week with a new series of late night shows for you people. You want more Sean? We are going to inject it directly into your brain, but through your eyes and through
Did
YouTube.
you see? Did you see, you guys? I mean, there's a lot of things about. I wanted to do 3 videos yesterday, but it was raining so hard because there's so much news about Meghan Markle. Guys, you're gonna see more of her with Kamala, and the thing is though that we're gonna see a lot of Harry. Because Harry, remember when he got involved in that? I don't know if I sent you that. Even I have that little clip on my video, yesterday's video, where Harry's saying that he has never been allowed to vote in the United Kingdom, but that he couldn't vote this time in the United States. This is the Prince of the United Kingdom sitting on a bench somewhere, advocating for voting against a political opponent in the United States of America. And nobody bat an eyelid in the monarchy. The press didn't even call him out in the United Kingdom, which is pretty horrible.
Yeah. Okay. Livy, the Discord's not public yet because we're still doing all the building bits. So when it's fully public, we will get everybody on. Just so you know.
And
Paula, is Meghan allowed to vote?
Yes, of course, she's an American citizen.
Well, but just because of who she's married to, does it change anything? No.
This is the thing. She would need for her political things, because this is the thing, guys, that is really serious. Remember how I told you that Harry and Meghan are testing the waters, right? Harry, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, sat on that bench. It wasn't Henry Mountbatten Windsor and Rachel Meghan Markle. It was the Duke and Duchess of Sussex who sat on that bench advocating for voting in a, when they're using the titles, they're advocating that they're advocating on behalf of the royal family, because Meghan did not use her Meghan did not use her name. You know what I mean? It was the Duke and Duchess of Sussex sat on that bench. So Harry is fully convinced that he can become a U.S. citizen and not lose the royal titles, because Meghan has been allowed to use. Meghan Markle is setting a precedent, because the 13 article in the Constitution forbids Americans citizens to use a royal foreign title in American soil, because they fought to get rid of the royals, and so they're not allowed to. When Ronald Reagan,
well, that makes sense too, actually. Yeah, of course.
When Ronald Reagan, when the Queen personally requested to bestow Ronald Reagan an honorary knighthood, right? Ronald Reagan had to ask permission to Congress. Congress agreed, but Ronald Reagan could never use it. He was he got an honorary knighthood, but he was not allowed to call himself.
Negatively impacted. But you got to remember, in the image you're seeing here, I believe this appeals to most Americans. I believe their discussion when they went on a fishing trip, and they were describing the fish sizes of the fish that got away in this image. So I think that's where they're going to sort of appeal to the masses of Americans with Meghan. Okay, she's an outdoorsy lady. All right, that's all I'm saying. She's a nature lady. No,
you're
not.
Looking at a ticket, Harry's Markle / or Sussex, because I don't know if she's changed her last name to Sussex. Didn't they change her last name to Sussex? Didn't they issue a statement saying that they all had changed her last name to Sussex because they wanted a united family? Please, somebody in the chat, can you answer that?
I think they have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have.
98% sure. Statement that they wanted to. And I just want to say something. I am not being sponsored by anything, but a lot of people have asked me, because I have lupus.
Wait, Paula. We actually have been requested by the public for more of your awesome life tips like things you can do with avocados and fruits that you grow, the hand creams, all of this stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us.
But I was saying, I use this like there's no tomorrow. This is for really dry hands, and it's not that oily. And guys, it's amazing. Do you guys remember how red my hands are because I have secondary Raynaud's syndrome and
You've
lupus?
got very nice hands, Paula.
Well, right now, yeah, but you will see other videos. The guys on the chat can tell you that they're like monster. They're all red. So right now, this is my hands and you can see a little bit of the redness here, but not as when they get really, really bad. And I always use Eucerin.
You don't strike me as having stereotypical farmer hands. I'm not going to lie.
Are you kidding? No, because the thing is, I don't use, I'm not in the sun very much, and I'm not in the sun very much, and I do wear gloves.
Your nails are fabulous. I'm going to put
that. Yeah. This is the girls in the shelter. I'm teaching them. They're being taught how to.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're being taught how to do nails and manicures as a life skill for when I leave, because I'm not going to be in Nicaragua forever. So I'm leaving next year. So, but I want to leave the shelter, and I want to leave them with hair, knowing how to cut hair, how to style, how to do makeup, how to sew. We have sewing machines. So they've been taught. So they're practicing on me. And next month, they're going to give me a haircut.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that would not
Nieces put it on your todger. It's oscillating todger.
This is fragrance free. And in regards to the avocado, remember I told you about the avocado seeds.
Yeah.
You have to grate them and drink them with tea, a little bit of honey. And another thing, guys. Okay, another things. I don't know, you too, Victoria, you have a lot of life tips. But have turmeric. Is that how you say it? Turmeric tea? Turmeric with pepper, because the pepper helps to absorb the turmeric. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's amazing for joint pains, but it's anti-inflammatory also for your gut. It reduces, because believe it or not, guys, we do get swollen. And the turmeric, is that how you say? Turmeric?
Yeah.
That, if you want to see your gut go away, drink like a little bit of tea. Always put a little bit of pepper, because the pepper helps with the absorption of the turmeric.
So much freaking tea I'm going to have to drink to make my gut go away. You having a fucking laugh?
I think I just need to stop eating.
Have a shot of olive oil at night, because that kicks off your metabolism into burning fat all night, because you're lying down. You're not doing anything where you're sleeping. And then the next, you will see your body fat go down. And if you drink turmeric, put a little bit of pepper. And if you find it, just take a drink it.
I read somewhere that cold water isn't very good for you. You're meant to have lukewarm water. And that helps also lose weight. With a bit of lemon in the morning, detox the liver. Milk thistle is good for detoxing the liver. If you have a hard Friday night, put 10 drops of it in the water. It tastes quite nice. And that's what I do. Milk thistle.
But it's those things are turmeric, because I've had to learn all these things because of lupus, right? And then you just bite the bullet. It's not like you just have the turmeric and your joints, especially for your joints and stuff like that. But the avocado, did any of you do the avocado hair thing? Did your mom do it, Ron? Just a little bit of avocado and just put it in your hair and your scalp. And the rice water, I love rice water. I don't do anything other than rice water to my hair.
My mom literally has those like avocado shaped dishes that everyone had in the 80s still in her cupboard, because they were apparently a big thing then. I don't know.
I didn't know what an avocado was until I was 20.
Wow.
We didn't really get much in the way of fruit.
I never knew what actual butter was until I left my family home, mother. Okay, Flora is no way to raise a child. Flora is not where it's at. We should have been a Lurpak family. Okay.
It was Flora. I hated the Flora. I love butter now.
I cannot deal with margarine now.
I know. It's disgusting.
I left home and I bought blue milk and Lurpak, and I was like, why have I gone through this? So a big shout out to my mom. Gotta love my mom. But here, listen, we're going to jump into this our next royal segment, which is Royal Pictures from the Past.
Oh my God.
Amazing. Right. So we'll just chat some stuff as we look at some royal pictures from the past, because who doesn't love looking at royal pictures from the past? Harry having a good time here. You know what I'm saying? Last time I seen him smile in this picture right here.
Oh, that's a lovely picture. I remember that.
Oh, apparently the page doesn't want to skip images. That's great. Okay, the page is frozen. All right, everyone needs to give me a minute to refresh this. Oh, the one is of all the pages frozen. What's going on here?
Typical.
What's going on? What's going on? Just there we go. All right, we're back. Thank you. There we are. All right, yeah, a bit of Diana, a bit of Princess. Wait, that's the Queen, right? Is that the Queen or the Queen Mother?
It's
Who is that?
Mother, isn't it?
Everyone in the side chat, let us know who this is. Oh yeah, the boys and their grandmother. So that must be. Wait, that's the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, nailed it. See, I know what grandmothers are. The Queen, right? Nice one. Yeah, that is how it should be. I'm telling you, if any of you have ever been sledging with your children, right, and got to the like an excessive hill, I'm not talking like, oh, my children's like 6 or 7 and we're doing like a wee 20-foot hill nonsense. I mean, in Edinburgh, there is some steepness, right? And I'm telling you now, you have a great time on the way down, but then instantly when you turn around and realize what you have to go back up, your soul is broken. So yeah. Yeah. Also, does anybody have one of these? I had one of these sledges growing up. They don't make stuff like they used to make
In
stuff.
Norway, they use them all the time.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, man.
No. Yeah, I've never had that.
That's
Oh, I love that car.
I don't know who this is.
That's
Man, as the Queen. Oh, it's the Queen again. Oh, we've got descriptions down here. That makes it easier. Oh man, that's what we're looking for. The Queen probably not thinking they drive herself around, but you need to get an average citizen does. Royal family most. Back in 1915, the Queen had a bit of a fun playing a soccer mum. Here she is driving Prince Charles and Princess Anne at Windsor. Oh man, that's Princess Anne.
I know,
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That military guy's like, you're lucky, Mr. Eagle. If you twatted the king, it would have been a Kentucky Fried Eagle. But any of you ever visited a bird of prey sanctuary, Victoria?
Yes, I have. Yeah, we've seen a few bird shows in my time.
Yeah.
And they train them to sweep over your head.
Right. Okay.
And you go,
yeah, they do. Yeah.
But actually, have you been to Bird World? It's brilliant. And
Bird World.
It's near this way, so it's a bit far for you. But they've got these beautiful pheasants, and I didn't realise pheasants were all different colours throughout the world, and their plumage is amazing. I just kind of always envisage pheasants as the ones we see in like the woodlands here, which are kind of small and haven't got much colour. But these ones are fascinating. But the only thing is, I feel sad for them because they are caged, and I think they should be free because they fly, you know.
But they can't be free because I want to look at them. So Bird World, right?
Bird World.
This is Bird World.
Yeah. And they have pheasants there.
Oh, have they got one of those tiny little owls? Have you seen the tiny owls?
Oh, I can't remember the owls.
They are so tiny. Freaking love a penguin, mate.
Penguin.
Oh,
penguins. Yeah.
Look at this guy. Oh, yes.
Oh, they are great.
Bird World is happening. All right, hang on. Let's get back.
You need to go.
I do need
to go. You get to feed the parrots as well.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Apparently, they had to split up the parrots because they were swearing at the visitors.
I'm loving that.
I love it.
I want to know the story behind the bandana that's going on here with Harry. You know, there's a backstory with this. I'm just saying.
He was preparing to meet P. Diddy.
Oh! Jesus! Right. All right, let's move on from that. Here, do you know what? I often forget how long these two have been together, Paula. Do you know that? I feel like I say that every time I see a picture of them.
They have been, I think, from 2000. Yeah, they've been. I was going to say the age. They've been 13 year marriage. 10 years. For 10 years, they were together prior to that. 10 years before that. So they've been together 23 years. Really,
it's a long time. Yeah. It's a long time. And you know, I like I say, I'm pretty sure I say this every single time. It always does shock me. Because they always look. I mean, look at their wee faces.
He looks so chiseled there, doesn't he?
Oh, don't set her off, Victoria. Okay, she didn't hear what you said. Luckily, right? We've been saved by Paula's reaction there because I don't think she was paying attention. All right, so
She normally hangs off my every word, don't you, Paula?
No, it's just that something at the farm we have at the farm right now. Sorry about that, guys. You have my full attention now. You know what? I think that Prince. I was reading something about Meghan Markle and Prince William, and Catherine. I was looking at the hatred. Did you guys know that William is hatred in the Spanish world, and that they truly believe that he's harassing Catherine, and some others think that she's a bully to William?
Oh, I
In the
didn't know
Spanish
that.
world, they think Catherine is bullying William.
Oh yeah, of course she is. Yeah, the woman, the lady with cancer, right?
Spanish world, being in the Spanish YouTube world, it's so different because
Yeah, I can believe it. So yeah, Princess Catherine got diagnosed with cancer and just turned into a horrible lady who started bullying her husband. Totally,
before
totally
that,
feasible.
was before that.
Before then too. Okay.
No, from before that they saying that she's been I've been so shocked, because I do my videos on Catherine and they go, but she's been always so mean, and this is in the Spanish world, guys, and that they're completely convinced that he's having an affair with Rose Ambury, and then that she's a bully, that he had to have an affair with Rose because she's so mean to him, she's so bossy, and then
Yeah, I don't know. But hey, listen, okay. I'm just going to be the voice of reason in 2024. You never know what goes on behind closed doors, okay? And you get some ruthless women, okay? I'm not saying that's who Catherine is, but I'm just saying I'm just saying it's the voice of reason, all right? I think they're a happily married couple. Do you know what I'm saying? And if we're going to say there's a possibility of one of them being one way, then we have to say that about the other two. But I believe they're a happily married, wonderful, loving couple.
Catherine Rosinia said that would account for so much negative. And yes, and the Spanish press article, it is true. And you know that
take us through it a little bit, Paula. So what's the Spanish?
Well, I did a video about Catherine on my Spanish channel saying Catherine, she came back spectacular and everything. And then I did a video, and in the video I talked about who originated the rumor, Giles Coring, that guy who's very friendly with Meghan Markle. He was with her in 2015 in Turkey for Soho House opening, and Meghan Markle was flown for the weekend to entertain VIPs for the Istanbul opening, and Prince Charles and Prince Harry were there also for that weekend. Okay. And he met her there. And then when Meghan Markle married Harry, they went to Amsterdam when she was allegedly pregnant at the end of September 2018 to a Soho House party in Amsterdam. And this Giles Coren guy was there. And they met with Meghan Markle because they're very friendly. And it was after that meeting. And by the way, Meghan Markle, supposedly, because let's not forget that she came, Eugenie got married, I think the first week of October or something like that. So it was less than a week, 10 days. And Meghan Markle was drinking heavily. And she announced that she was like 3.5 months pregnant or something like that. And that she'd known for about a month and a half. Yet she was drinking her ass off in Amsterdam at the Soho House party. So this guy, after that with Meghan Markle, that meeting with getting together, he posted a tweet saying, I don't know, have you heard the rumors about William and Rose Hanbury, blah, blah, blah. And then when everything went to crap, everybody, of course, picked on it. Then he still doubled down. He said, well, it's a tweet and I stand by it. And in 2023, he came out with another tweet because people were harassing him. And they're asking, can you please explain where you got that rumor from? And then he said, for goodness sake, guys, it was just a joke. So I explained that in my Spanish channel. And a lot of people in the comments were like, thanks for explaining that. We didn't know. They really didn't know. And people do believe that Harry and Meghan Markle are fully working members of the royal family stationed in the States because they are in the royal website. And it is very hard for me to make the argument against that. I said, no, it's just because he's the king's son, but they don't understand that because I said, wait a minute. For example, the monarchy in Europe, like all the other house, they don't have every child in their website. Only, it's only for business, monarchy business. So it's very difficult to defend.
Okay, I just want to give you, I'm going to just ask you to like and share one more time for me. Now, listen, this next picture, and again, it's intrusive thoughts, okay? In fact, I'm not going to say it. We're just going to look at this. I almost said what I was going to say there, brain. I'm on the internet. Okay, so another royal photograph right here. Okay, that's Princess Diana's funeral right there. I'm just gonna. I can't. I'm. It's so hard. I'm almost saying something. So now we are at William and Harry. Where are we here? Lending a hand. Prince Harry and Prince William are undoubtedly the most popular. Are they? Are they? Is that right? Are we sure? We'll just skip that one. There's something about them that makes. Okay, let's move on. 2010, they visited. Whoa. Seaman Kong. Victoria, what am I reading here? What am I reading?
Oh
Seaman
dear.
Kong.
King Kong Seaman.
Simon Kong.
Brilliant name.
It's a brilliant
I
name.
bet
Brilliant
you.
name.
I sent you a headline. I bet you didn't have that
Hang on.
one.
I need now that I've said Simon Kong so many times, I need to finish this paragraph. Otherwise, I'm not here to just take the mickey out of some African part of Africa. But Simon Kong, come on, people. Lesotho in Africa. There were spent
Lesotho.
of course, exactly.
That's what he meant, Paula.
Yeah, that's the one, Paula. Thank you, my chief. Projects supported by their charities, namely Sentabale and Tusk Trust. Here they pictured helping a young boy putting on some gloves to keep away from the cold, but still, I'm sure he knows how to put on. Oh, he's tiny. Okay, he probably doesn't.
But are these not older pictures though?
They're older pictures.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that the girl that was raped?
Eh?
I'm sorry. What?
Raped?
Yeah. What?
With
Yeah. Yeah.
With
I
an
know,
R?
yeah, I know what you're saying, but that was sorry. It's not funny. You just caught me off guard there by suddenly saying.
Isn't that Liketso, the girl that Harry promised to look after? Let's see who she is. Lesotho and Prince Harry, but
That's a place, Paula.
No, but the little baby that they're holding, I wonder if that's Liketso, the little girl that Harry promised to take care of, which he abandoned within a year. And now she's a teen, and he has never followed up. She was
in hell, right? We're going to have to get some context on this. That sounds really bad. Take it away, Paula. Who are you? What do you mean, the little girl?
Well,
what?
Do you know that picture of Harry? This little girl was essayed before when she was 9 months old by her stepfather. Harry was visiting Lesotho, and this is the picture that went all over the world. This is after the Nazi incident, and they were trying to rehabilitate his image. So he goes to Lesotho, and he runs into this little girl, and look at the Lesotho picture with Prince Harry.
Okay.
Holding the baby girl that is Liketso, and because of her, he founded Lesotho, the Santevale, which means forget me not, and he swore to look after her, never abandon her, and that he was going to make sure.
The hand. Okay, is it the blind girl?
No, it's a little baby black girl that he's cradling.
Cradling. See if you can listen. My dog just came in and farted, and if you know what happened to me the other day, I'm just going to go and let him out. Paula, if you can pull up that image, I'll get that image back. But keep it going. I'll be 2 minutes. This could be a warning fart.
I'll send you
it's they smell awful, dog farts, don't they? They're disgusting.
I know. He's blaming the dog. I don't think it's a dog though.
No, yeah, could be.
Yeah, I don't think that's a dog. You know,
you think it's him?
I think it's him. It's yeah, I have the article, guys. We're gonna go through the article. But do you remember how Harry said in the SPs, no Marine is left behind? That is the basically motto of the military the US military. Nobody gets left behind. And he promised not to get anybody, never to leave anybody behind. Well, we're going to see how he left this little girl behind, and she created he founded Santevale because of this little girl, and he promised to look after her. And years later she comes back, and you know that, right? You've seen that, right, Victoria?
How long ago was this?
Oh, that was about 10-11 years ago. And the little girl, I mean, I'm going to read the article. Living on 82 pence a day, the girl who inspired Prince Harry's charity. It was the moment that inspired Prince Harry to follow in his mother's footsteps and help Africa's forgotten aid victims. Cradling 10-month-old Keke in his arms, the 19-year-old prince, he was 19,
Mm,
appeared more than
mm,
10 years, appeared
mm.
close to tears as he was told of the dreadful ordeal she had suffered. The baby had been raped and tortured by her stepfather, who believed a witch doctor with myth that sex with a virgin, however young, would cure him of HIV.
Yeah, they do. There is a couple of countries like that in
Yeah, they
Africa,
still
isn't
do,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And they go, in a TV documentary filmed during Harry's first encounter with the little girl 5 years ago, he despaired of her plight. This is when he was 19. I held her in my arms. He said she couldn't move. She had no expression, no laughing, no crying, nothing at all. It almost seemed as though she knew what happened. At the time, the prince was more renowned for his nightclub antics, but
Mm.
galvanized by Kiki's ordeal, Leketso, he decided to set up a charity to help the children of Lesotho, one of the poorest kingdoms in Africa. He named it Sentebale, meaning forget me not, in memory of Princess Diana. He also vowed to support Kiki in her growing up, her education, and everything. 5 years after that emotional first meeting, the Daily Mail has tracked down the little girl who stole his heart and discovered that sadly, her tragic story has a far from happy ending. 3 years ago, she was handed back to her family by the unit for abused children that had nursed her back to health. It was hoped she would have a better life with them than in an institution. Kiki was taken to live with her grandmother deep in the Lesotho mountains, a treacherous 11-hour journey away from the capital, Maseru, by a bus and on foot. Now she's being raised there with three of her siblings on her grandmother's pension of 82 cents a day. Her 72-year-old grandmother claims that promises by Santevale staff to provide food and supplies have not been kept and laments that there is not enough money for even basic essentials such as a bar of soap. That means Kiki has to go to school dirty, which is not good. At school, Kiki, who's now 6, is so hungry that she struggles to concentrate in class. Harry, now 25, is disturbed by her pitiful existence. Last night, a close source to the prince said it's a very frustrating situation.
Yeah, it's
You know,
wild.
it is. And so this is the little girl. So they simply, when this article came out, and because they knew
Oof.
she wasn't an orphan, the whole point, and I know what the chat's gonna say, they knew she wasn't an orphan, so they knew that they
Oh,
just couldn't
he's
take her.
in over his head, man. Look at that face. He knows he is not capable of pulling off whatever he is
But
here
he
to pull
vowed
off.
to provide for her. This little girl has full blown AIDS, from what I understand.
Yeah, this
And it's she's going through a lot. She's a young lady now, and when he got married to Meghan Markle, instead of inviting her to his wedding, they invited a 4-year-old little boy from the Santebale, and the Santebale people are running around in brand new Land Cruisers, living in mansions in
sorry.
Lesotho.
They invited a 4-year-old to their wedding.
From Lesotho, from Santebale, and they didn't invite her from the charity.
Yeah,
And
this
she
is
even did
very
a
odd.
article, and she doesn't, sometimes she has to get food. So when the article in the Daily Mail came out,
Yeah.
they gave her 32 pounds, I think.
Oh,
So
listen.
here, the way
I,
they're justifying is that, well, she's not an orphan, so we just can't storm in there. But they knew that when they took on that.
yeah, well, I don't think. I mean, it's just a really shocking story, and I mean, it, Harry in particular, but most stories that come out of Africa that have people that are going in to try and fix things end horribly, and this is just at the top of the pile.
Yeah, but this is
Yeah,
just an example, Ron, because he just went on
yeah.
the SBs and said, "We're never gonna leave. I will never leave anybody behind." Because he talked on the SBs, the speech he gave. He said that the American motto, the military, is never leave a man behind, and that
Yeah.
he vowed to do the same.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Has
I'm
this
sure.
with this little girl? He hasn't done that, has he?
But yeah,
No.
I mean, how
This
old is he in this
What,
picture?
it would be like 100 quid a month, and she would live the life of a
Yeah.
rich person.
How old is he here?
He's
19.
Yeah, dude.
You think though that would, it would stick in his memory that we're being there and hearing that story.
No.
Even if he'd forgotten about her for a couple of years, it would have come
No.
back to him at some point to
you know
find
why I
out how
disagree
she
with
was
you,
getting
He
Victoria?
on.
was made aware. He was made aware. And the
No,
way they
no,
just
wait,
decided was
Paula.
we go in there.
Do you know why I disagree with you, Victoria?
Yeah.
Because you're looking at this image
Yeah.
from compassionate eyes, where you're assuming.
I do that too much. I've
Yeah,
been
but
told.
listen, he's not sitting there worrying about this little girl. He's looking off camera like, did you just say
Right.
this baby has AIDS? That's
Mm.
the
No,
look.
she-
That's
she
the look
will-
on his face. He
No,
looks like a man,
he was-
well and truly, who has bitten off more than he can chew. Right there, 100% see it on his face.
Yeah.
This should never have been allowed to happen. If I'm being honest.
The truth is that Clarence House was managing his thing, was managing Lesotho Santebale. That was Clarence House managing it. And there was a huge scandal about it. And the Queen ordered Charles to sort it out, because Charles was actually in charge of that, and it was used to rehabilitate his image, because this happened after the Nazi pictures and everything. And he was the party prince and Nazi. So
I
suddenly
see. So
get
it's
a
a
picture.
PR stunt for him. It was a PR stunt for him
This
then.
little girl's tragedy was his first PR stunt. So when
Yeah.
people blame Meghan Markle, Harry has a very old hand at this, and it has left very many men behind, or very many victims behind his path to get to where he is. So it's not all Meghan Markle. And you know how much I dislike Meghan Markle's actions. But let's face it, this guy has no backbone. He's a coward. He's a snitch. He's a traitor. He has no loyalty. And you know what? Once a snake, always a snake. And I'm always surprised that people think they keep allowing the snake to come in, and they're surprised when the snake bites them.
Yeah.
They
Well,
understand
listen,
the second time, but third, fourth.
I think it's a shocking story. I think we can all agree on that. Please like and share. And I just want to move on now. And sadly, it doesn't get any better for our next story.
That's a little girl. Did you remove it?
No. Yeah. We can see her.
That's her. That's her there. That's a little girl.
Yeah.
And then she's older. She's an older picture of her. But she's much older when they did that. She's like in her teens now. But that's a little girl.
All right. Okay. Well, we're moving on. All right. So sad, very sad story of a Yorkshire family next. Shannon Morgan, partner Shane Roller, and their two daughters, Ruby and Lily, died in a car crash on the road between Wakefield and Barnsley on Sunday night. And this is a family of 5 who have left behind one of their daughters now. West Yorkshire Police issued major update in horror A61 crash, which killed 6, including young sisters. West Yorkshire Police are probing the tragic road accident, which left 2 young girls and 4 adults dead on the A61 between Wakefield and Barnsley. Now, this was when a motorbike and a car collided, and it. Detectives say they're still investigating the killer crash, which left 6 people dead, including 4 members of one family dead. Parents Shannon Morgan and Shane Roller were killed alongside their daughters Ruby and Lily after their Ford Focus collided with a motorbike on the A61 near Wexfield, West Yorkshire on Sunday afternoon. 2 people on the motorcycle, a man and a woman, were also killed. Tragedy left Miss Morgan and Miss Roller's other daughter, who wasn't in the car at the time, orphaned. Now, police have reiterated appeals for anyone who witnessed the horror crash. Speaking out Wakefield's district headquarters Monday afternoon, Superintendent Alan Travis from West Yorkshire Police asked the witnesses to come forward, as well as anyone with dash cam footage. He said, for the officers and emergency services that attended the scene, I would like to pass on thanks to the officers in West Yorkshire and Solo and South Yorkshire who supported us. All is well in the West and South, as well as West and South Fire and Rescue Services and Yorkshire Ambulance Service. He added that our hearts go out to the family of the loved ones who lost people in this incident. This is a truly horrendous collision, which we are currently in the early stages of investigating. I would like to ask anybody who witnessed the incident or dashcam footage to please contact Major Collisions Inquiry Team. Emergency services were called to the road near the village of New Miller Dam between Wakefield and Barnsley after the crash at 3:54 on Sunday. Sadly, 6 people were pronounced dead at the scene. Grim photos of the scene have badly damaged carriageway. Okay. So I'm assuming these are the people on the bike. Is this right? Yeah. Like,
That's Shannon. Isn't that Shannon Morgan? That one there at the top, and that's Shane.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, that is them. Yeah. So.
So when I seen that this morning, the thought of that little girl losing her entire family. In the blink of an eye. We need to know. I mean, why do I feel, right? Why do I feel like I'm swaying towards the motorbikes being the cause of this, right? Now, I'm going off of the first information that we've read here. Okay. Guy in the car with his whole family, guy on a bike with his partner per se. Look at what we're looking at here. It looks like the cars have exploded.
Well, it's the speed that they're going at, isn't it? This is the speed of the collisions.
And again, I am in no way saying that this is what's happened. But do you think that a father with his kids in the car is going to be gunning it down the road? Has perhaps this motorbike come down the road at an astronomical speeds, lost control, maybe even doing a wheelie, just went straight through the windshield? I mean, it's such a horrific thought to think that this little girl's whole family is gone. But I need to know why. This is one that it was like being punched in the chest this morning, because that's just a normal day for that family. You know, mom, dad, kids in the car, maybe driving to have a nice day, do something nice, and then wallop. But hey, could be the other side of the coin. Could be the family member in the car. Maybe mom and dad were arguing. They didn't realize didn't look at what they were doing. So I'm just putting down the count. I don't want all motorbiker owners to get the finger pointed at them who are watching this, basically, or to think that I'm stereotyping motorbiker drivers, because there's just as many dysfunctional families. But it's so scary.
Well, they'll be able to see the speed of each vehicle, so that when they do the investigation, they can work out by the track marks how fast the cars were going and how fast the motorbike was going. So you'll find out who was at fault once that comes out. It has to be.
Sorry, I just don't understand why they make the cars go faster than the speed limit. I think cars should only go 80 miles. And if the highest speed limit is 80 miles per hour, the car's speed should only be 80 miles per hour. That's it. I don't that mystery, problem solved. Unless you're on the Autobahn. By the way, I love the Autobahn.
So,
in Germany. But
isn't Germany though a place where there isn't a speed limit?
Autobahn.
And they have less crashes than a lot of other European countries. So they're doing something different there, and I'm not sure what they're doing.
Well,
but
there's a difference, though. I've been in the Autobahn. That's the Autobahn I was talking about. The Autobahn, they have a special road where they're like the size of each.
Hang on a second. I'm just quenching some stupidity here. Are you talking to me? Different opinion. Did you say it was on purpose? Are you all right? If you're talking to someone in the side chat, that's all right. But if you were saying that to me, then I'm just pointing you out. I'm not even going to give you an answer, because that is just wild.
So, in the Autobahn, each lane is 1.5. And they've done something wonderful, no matter, even if you have curves, you don't even feel you're going on curves, because it's an engineering marvel, and everybody knows there. I mean, my ex-husband used to hate driving there because he was a slow driver. I'm a fast driver, and you have to really go fast, and everybody, because you have so much room, and everybody really follows the rules, and it's a highway for that. But for example, when you're going on small roads, or even in the United Kingdom or anywhere else in the world where you have 80 miles per hour, why don't you just make the vehicles go maximum 90 miles per hour? That will be the end of the problem.
Yeah,
because right, people are crazy and like to go mad speeds. But the thing is, even two things colliding at 80 miles an hour is not going to solve the problem.
No.
That's the thing.
That's true.
No, but it's one of the ways to do it. You know what? Why give idiots?
No. Your theory is a normal thought process theory. Okay, but if we're talking about applying a speed limit to reduce impact destruction and deaths from that, we have to lower it to 25 miles an hour. Okay, but if it's about what you consider the speed limit and why things should go over it, I understand your argument. Why is a country allowing cars that go 220 miles an hour to be sold if it limits 80? I completely get what you're saying there. So yeah,
with new cars, so with, for example, like the Mercedes Benz C-Class, B-Class, you can set the speed limit to an amount and it will cruise for you.
Cruise control,
so there is more control now with the newer cars, and even parking and assisted mirrors and assisted screens.
I keep seeing things on the back of people's cars, Victoria, that's like, oh, I've got a something box installed, pass me.
Black box.
I won't go over 60 or something like this.
That's cheaper insurance. So if you do that, if your speed is always low, your insurance will be lower. That's why they do it. If they're safe drivers, they'll go and get that insurance.
Also, you know, I've seen funny stuff. If you can't read this, you're too close to me.
Yeah. Okay, listen. I just wanted the next thing we're going to talk about is something that was touched on yesterday, and it's in reaction to a comment that was left. And
there's an article I sent you in the private chat, which is really juicy.
We'll get to it, right? So the question is, Ron should refrain from talking about Russia because it's clear he doesn't know what he's talking about. Whether Ron likes it or not, most of the world has not legalized same-sex marriage or civil partnerships. It is only illegal to promote same-sex relationships in Russia, nothing else. Okay. All right, Ian Larch. Let's go. So.
I'm sorry, it's got that up. I was going to
Let's go, baby. All right. So, does it sound like all you're not allowed to do is promote your love for your consenting adult of the same sex? Let's have a read, shall we, Ian? Lesbian and gay, bisexual, transgender people in Russia face severe challenges not experienced by non-LGBTQ residents. Although sexual activity between consenting adults of the same sex is legal, homosexuality is disapproved of by most of the population, and pro-LGBT activity groups are deemed extremists and banned. It is illegal for individuals to promote homosexuality, and same-sex couples and households headed by same-sex couples are ineligible for legal protections available to opposite-sex couples. Russia provides no anti-discrimination protection for LGBTQ people and does not have designation for hate crimes based on sexual orientations and gender identity. Trans people are not allowed to change their legal gender or gender-affirming care, and gender-affirming care is banned. There are currently no laws prohibiting discrimination based on gender identity or expression, and recent laws could be used to discriminate against transgender residents. All right, mate? So, sounds like you are considered subhuman in Russia. Okay? If that's the way you think, Ian, fair dues, mate. But all I'm saying, to me, I am just saying, you are wrong, sir. Thank you. Next. All right. So, we had another comment. Right. And I think it ties in with what you were talking there about speed limits, Paula. Okay. And then we're going to jump onto your topic. Right. You ever heard of this? Was another thing that was in the comment section: transhumanism.
What's that?
Oh, this is a trans movement. I want to be part of this. Okay. So transhumanism is when people want to start merging humans and technology. Right. So like bionic eyes. Right. Or being able to like run at 80 miles an hour. Who wants to drive at 80 miles an hour when we could possibly run at 80 miles an hour, Paula? Okay. Transhumanism. And this was
guys, I've got to go. I've got to pick my kids up from school early today, but I'll join you tomorrow at 12:30. Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, of course. We'll see you tomorrow.
Perfect. I'll be there tomorrow, guys. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone in the side chat. Bye. Bye.
So it got me thinking, Paula, right? Because technology and humans are technically something that has been around a lot, okay? And the most basic form of that would be a wheelchair, right? We're bringing a human and a made construct together to better the life of that human, right?
Yeah.
Wheelchair, okay. But we are talking about taking things to a point where you're stronger, you're faster, you see better, you live longer, you have a convenience of, perhaps having a microchips in your hand for doing things, all that stuff. And it brought me to the argument in my head about necessity over need, or one over need. Okay. Because I think if we were talking about this from benefiting those who are disabled point of view, I think it would be a different conversation.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to a cosmetic point of view, it's a different conversation. So first of all, I kind of want to jump in and show you guys just a couple of things. Mind-controlled bionic arm fuses to my body. Okay. So it blows my mind that we are in a world already where we have constructed new limbs, and these limbs are now running off of your thoughts and the way that your muscles are reacting, and they're trying to mimic the muscle reactions in a human body in the bionic arm. I'm just going to call it what it is, man. That is a bionic arm. Direct skeletal attachment, okay, of a bionic arm in people. Okay, so obviously this technology is there to support people who are missing an arm or missing a limb. But how quickly before this is an option for the mainstream? And how many of you would be into something like that? Because I am telling you now, if this was just perfected, okay, and we weren't the first generation of this, I am getting a bionic left arm. I'm telling you that right now. I am going bio left arm, okay, and I'm probably going to go cyborg from about halfway down my thighs, right? So my knees and feet and ankles. Hell yeah. Hell, bulletproof abs? Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Hell yeah. Okay, but from a more serious point of view, from a more, acceptable point of view, is this not the most incredible thing you've ever seen, Paul? That guy just screwed his hand on and is controlling it with his brain and muscles.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I've heard that. I've heard about it.
I mean, just from a medical point of view, is that not the coolest damn thing you've seen in your life?
Well, I wonder what else they can do though.
Yeah. Let's get some. Look at this. Look at this. Dude just made his thumb move.
I wonder if they feel anything. Do they feel?
Well, Paula, funny you say that, because the next step in this, all right, is engineers have created a new bionic arm that can grow with you, and is one that they're now working on creating feedback sensation. So when the hand touches something, it's attached to the nerves that would send the signals, oh, your fingers are being touched effectively. That's what they're trying to crack now. But look at how cool this one looks. I'm not being funny, dude, right? I don't care what any of you are saying, all right? I would have a bionic left arm, and it would be the most Iron Man suit looking thing you have seen in your life. I would have a lighter built into it so that I never lose that thing ever again. Do you know what I'm saying? I am all for this movement, right? But here's the problem, people. It's great having a bionic arm that you've bought from a third-party company that isn't necessarily connected with the government, right? But when it comes to basic things like putting a microchip in your hand, all right? These people, the transhumanists who are upgrading their bodies, this is from 5 years ago, okay? Where it was basic NFC chip tech, NFC or NFT? NFC technology, right? Where they would put microchips inside their hands. You can see on this lady's shoulder, and you can see on this hand here. This is where a microchip is being inserted, and it allows you to do basic tasks by placing your hand. You'll have all done it with your cards for making payments. It's NFC based. But the thing is, that is really old school. Like, I mean, I'm not being funny. You can go and buy NFC stickers for about $1 a roll and stick them on your hand and do the exact same thing as you would be doing with an implant. That's where the technology has got to. You can literally buy tiny, like thin as you can imagine, little NFC stickers, and jewelry. So a lot of these basic things that they're trying to say are this cybernetic transhumanism are very basic, and you can just apply stickers to yourself. So don't go down that road. But this is where I fully see humans and plastic surgeries and the next level of humanity going as far as being able to augment yourself. Okay, we've seen where tattoos and implants and piercings and all that form of body modification, how that's gone. We've seen what exactly what I was just going to say, the 3D printing, which is on the screen, that is opened up so much for us. There was a guy that used to 3D print prosthetic arms for little kids, and he would do a Spider-Man one and like a Barbie one and all this kind of stuff. And it gave kids a fun arm, because the NHS arms were not fun for the kids. They looked odd, and these kids got function out of it. So, I didn't question anything. I gave a counter argument for why a family could have been at the center of the cause of the accident, after I stated my brain was swaying towards blaming the motorcyclist. So I wanted to make sure that people realized that it's just as easy to put forward an argument to blame who we see as the innocent party in a situation that we don't know anything about. So when I was talking about the motorcyclist and criticizing them, who you don't seem to be caring about defending at all, because they were the ones I criticized first, I wanted to give a counter argument that could have put the other parties at the center of it. After saying I don't think that is what happened, I just wanted to give two sides of an argument, because it's often unfair to just assume in a situation like this that it was the motorbike at the center of it all. So yeah, just, maybe check your facts. So Paula, this is where I see the world going. I see this being the next thing. I see people being able to augment and go, people that have got bad spines, whack a new spine in. People want bionic eyes, get the eyes in. What do you think? I mean, it's logical that this is going to happen, right? I mean, do you not think that this is the next?
Well, that would be great for people who, well, can you imagine? That would be great. Because I know some people, for example, if you're paralyzed, I don't know how far they've gone with people who are paralyzed. But
that was me owning it, Julie. Honestly, you're on fire today, Julie. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Just go and get yourself a nice little cup of chamomile tea, relax, calm down. If people want to call me out and I want to shout at them, I'm going to do that. It's my show. All right. I'm very sorry if you can't handle the level of Ron that Ron brings to the table. All right. All right. But yeah, what do you guys think in the side chat? Do you think that this is going to, okay, it's going to be too expensive and things like that for most people? Well, here's the thing. The actual construction and components, right, can now be built very cheap. These parts you're seeing here, 3D printing. The actual installation, like if you were to remove your arm and then have a socket, so to say, installed, that's where you would want the money to be. That would be the parts that you click in and off. There'll be wish.com versions, there'll be high-end versions, there'll be all of that. But the part that goes on, the actual stump that you are creating for your own cosmetic pleasures to then become the bionic man, that's where the money needs to go. Did you see what I'm saying? That's where it needs to be. So I think that's the part that is very, just listen better. Different opinion. Listen better. Okay. I think that's where it needs to be heavily invested, because I'm not being funny. I would not like to be part of the first generation of transhumanistic cyborgs, because there's going to be a lot of mistakes. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, for people who are heavily handicapped, I mean, or I can imagine. I just wish they would make it more realistic looking, because it looks a little bit like,
well, that's what I've always wondered, right? Especially, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about like if you've got the money to go private, but I always wondered why a lot of the options for people who've lost a limb aren't of a higher standard. But Again, I don't know nothing about the topic, but again, I hope we get to a point where they have perfected the connection between nerve and brain and receptor and movement and thought and all of that. So yeah.
No, but I mean, skin looking. Why can't they make it like skin looking?
You're just going to go and sit in the corner for a minute and think about what you're doing with your life. Different opinion. Okay.
Well, what are you talking?
I'm just letting different opinion just go and sit in the corner for a minute, and they can think about what they want to bring to my side chat. Transhuman build. Yeah. See, this is another thing. So we've got the billionaires now, as opposed to the people where things are being developed because our brain tells us that's a better option because these people need limbs. Okay. As opposed to somebody with a limb just lopping it off to be a bit like Iron Man, which is me. I'm that guy. I honestly think, Paula, this is going to be the new thing. This is going to be the new Bugatti. Okay. This is going to be the new thing. If you're a billionaire and you don't have, a cybotic arm or, superpower X-ray vision eyes, geez, what are you, a peasant? I think we could see the biggest ever social divide in the world from the transhumanism movement over the next few years. And I mean, a divide where the elites will live longer, they'll stay younger, they'll move faster, they'll be stronger. I mean, sure, we'll get a snippet of it. We'll get a wee nummy nums, but we're never going to achieve what they have. And if people want a comparison, go and have a look at what most people drive, okay? And then look at what people with endless money can drive. The amount of money they can throw away on something like this would be phenomenal. And I just think this is the next logical step for human division is through the cyborg world. Let's just come with the transhuman movement. But again, there's a lot of things that I can see positive that we've also spoken about. But that it excites me a lot because I would be down for that if the technology got affordable. Paula, what have you sent us?
You can watch it. You can see it.
Oh, hang on. We've got one that's blocked by ad blockers, and then the Daily Express, Prince Harry Planet. Oh, yes. Okay, we'll jump back into this in a second. Right, we're going to just go through some of Paula's headlines with you, lovely people, and then we are going to jump into our next section, which some of you will love and some of you will hate. But hey, we got to talk about some spooky things and some cryptid things that are going on in the world. Also, like and share. Okay. All right. So, Paula, where are we? We're here. Take us back through it, Paula.
About no. Which one are you on right now?
Prince Harry planning next trip.
Oh yeah. Apparently, the Ambanis have hired him and Meghan to appear on their wedding because the Ambanis are bringing their wedding to the UK. So they apparently hire Harry and Meghan, just like they hire the Kardashians, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, and to appear to be celebrities. Priyanka Chopra, just because they hired these celebrities, right, to appear at their weddings. So apparently they have hired Harry and Meghan to show up there.
Yeah.
This is the Ambanis. This is the richest men in Asia. And they're coming to the UK, so apparently they're going to celebrate it there.
I'm all for Harry and Meghan coming back here.
Well,
I'm all for Harry and Meghan coming back here and trying to be royals again. It'll give me something that's actually interesting to talk about the two of them about. Because I'm going to be honest with you, Meghan and Harry, you are now the most boring of royals. Okay.
Not really.
I'm just saying.
A lot of she was just spotted with
compared to what they used to be. I want more drama, Paula. I want more drama.
This woman is giving so much content. I mean, I have to do videos, but I don't want to shell out so many videos, so I'm limiting the videos because she has a lot of content right now with Kamala Harris, and then we have her and when we have them, she just did on Georgia's birthday, she did a paparazzi walk, and you can see that Kimberly Williams, the actress from the father of the bride, she was not happy because clearly Meghan Markle set it up, and she didn't know that paparazzi were going to be there. She's with a fanny pack, and for some reason, Meghan is grinning like an idiot. She walks out even before she gets to there. She's like this, and the actress Williams is just like getting out normal. She's not looking anywhere. Meghan is pretty much like grinning and doing all kinds of things. It's like it looks so out of place because I mean Meghan Markle's scraping the bottom of the barrel. No disrespect to Kimberly Williams Paisley, by the way. So yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to say everybody in the side chat. They're just giving sort of responses to that last segment. So thank you to everybody for your input.
Lizzie, those are recent pictures. It's just that she's wearing really baggy clothes, trying to look like Princess Diana. So she's wearing really baggy pants, really baggy shirt, white shirt, like Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Even Princess Diana shoes. Those are recent, and of course they were taken by Bagrid because at Trelune, in Montecito, there's nobody there waiting for celebrities to come out. You literally have to call them, and they were clearly staged because they are on top of something. They have perfect view to Rachel Meghan Markle. They knew exactly when she was coming because she alerted them when she was coming out. So yeah, that's why, like
none of you can prove that I'm smoking when I turn my camera off. I just want to point that out right now. You don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I could be doing anything.
Yeah, let's see that. So those are reasons. So, but she's wearing really baggy clothes, but you can see her sternum here, her sternum bone, because she doesn't have any cleavage. So you can see her sternum here.
What are you talking about?
Meghan Markle. Okay, let me show you. Meghan Markle was just she staged a pap walk.
Give me the picture because if you're talking about something that's not on screen.
I'll give you the article. Yeah, I'll give you the article. I thought so you can see that. Let me see. I'm just getting it here because you can't have it, right? You can't. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share it with you now. Okay. You can highlight it here.
No, that's not smoke. You can't prove that smoke.
There it is.
None of you can prove anything.
Here.
I'm not saying you're wrong either.
I just posted the article.
Where?
You can share it. I have it there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, share screen. My bad. Meghan Markle dons a crisp white 245-pound shirt. There is no way. Put a 1 in the side chat. In fact, no. Tell me how long you would last with a white shirt.
You can see her with her veneer. This is Kimberly Williams. She is the actress from The Father of the Bride. And the funny thing is that look at her. She's grinning like an idiot. And she's just looking like, she's just coming out. She doesn't understand why Meghan Markle is smiling like an idiot. She's giving all these gestures. Look at her sternum right here.
Okay.
Like this is Princess Diana all over again.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you with that. Yeah. Also, just again,
coming out. This is Trelune, guys, which is a very chic Italian restaurant in Montecito. Paps are not there. This is the restaurant that the Kardashians and D-list celebrities use to take pictures of things and ask the paps to come and so you can see her coming out. She's already grinning. You're gonna see Kimberly. She was the Father of the Bride thing. She hasn't done very much, but she is kind of like an influencer. She has a store. This is Trelune here. You see. So you have to be perched in order to look at her. She doesn't even know. Meghan Markle is grinning and pretending that she's talking. She does this all the time. I don't know why she does that, but Kimberly didn't even know that she was being papped or anything because she's not. Meghan knows. This is why she's wearing the glasses, because she's looking straight at the paps, right? And there she goes, and she's talking to herself because you can see that Kimberly is not even talking back. She's just walking to the car. But Meghan, this is Meghan Markle's shoes with Princess Diana's shoes. Look at her. She's smiling like an idiot, and she's just looking ahead. But Meghan Markle is smiling. What is she smiling about?
I mean, just buy jeans that fit, no? I mean, just buy jeans that fit. That's what I would say.
She's trying to imitate Princess Diana.
Did Diana have turn-ups? It was the 80s. It was all right to have turn-ups in the 80s.
But look, she's smiling. Like, look, why is she laughing about? Like, can't you just go normally? No, because she has.
Wait a second. I actually had this story. Wait a minute. Ron knows what he's doing. This is the same story. This is the same lady.
Yeah, Kimberly, she's the
Yeah.
father of the bride thing. So she basically released this on George's birthday.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, that all makes sense now. Sorry, everybody. It's all just suddenly fallen into place what we're talking about here. Because everyone's talking about the fact that, there was definitely going to be pap walks on George's birthday. And that was George's birthday. And this is her outfit, which is another Diana ripoff outfit.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is her look before she even gets to the gate. Keep in mind that Kimberly's behind her, so she's not talking to anybody, but she comes already full veneers on display.
Yeah.
Look at this, full veneers on display. Kimberly's behind her. She's just like smiling.
Oh, wait. Can we go back up to her necklace? That is, that's one of the nails. I can't remember who made that, but they do a silver bracelet as well. I don't know why I know this. Carry on, Paula.
But look, she's smiling all the way through before she even gets to the door because she knows they're there. She's smiling there. This lady's like, what is she smiling? Like she doesn't even know. She's just putting on her fanny pack. And Meghan Markle is like, look at Meghan Markle.
No. Scroll back up to that other image. I need to look at this blue outfit. What is going on with her outfit? That is going terrible.
Yeah, but
and she's wearing white sneakers.
Exactly. She didn't know that Meghan Markle was going to stage a pap walk. I can guarantee you that she's not happy about it because look at Meghan. She makes sure she's wearing this.
Okay. That's probably Meghan's strategy then. Tell their friends, oh, no, we're just nipping out for a coffee. Don't worry about dressing up. Boom. Pap walk. She's all dolled up. The veneers in that picture look scary.
This is very, very Meghan Markle. Look how she's putting her hand behind her back, just like she guides Harry. I think somebody should smack the shit out of that hand because why is she touching other person? Like, how she does that? That's to exert control over the person, like you go here. And then she's telling this lady, like she's she's got even touching her ass or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she goes with all her bodyguards and she's going there, and she's like talking to herself because Kimberly's not even paying attention to her.
This is our last Meghan segment for the day. Don't worry. This was one I was actually planning on talking about, but I hadn't read through it all. I mean, it's actually quite amazing when you look at the two of them in that picture, Paula, how underprepared for a photo opportunity half the people in that photo are.
Okay. Yeah, Meghan Markle, and she's telling her, where are you going? And Meghan's like, no, she's pretending. And then there's her with Princess Diana. Look at her. She, even before she gets to the door, she's already showing all her veneers. Look at this. This lady clearly doesn't know. Meghan Markle smiling like the idiot. I mean, this woman, it's like when she's talking to herself and like nobody's talking to her and she's grinning like an idiot. This lady's had enough. It's like, bye. And there she is. This is amazing because, guys, her bodyguard's trying to get her in the car, but she has to, linger so they can get the pictures because she knows where the paps are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she has to linger to get more shots there for her to get into the car. 100%. And it's like, look at she's just lingering because she knows that the paps are there. And then but I mean, look, she's lingering her flat ass, her chicken legs, but she's lingering so they can get more shots. And the Kimberly's going on her own to her car, no big deal, but look at Meghan. I don't even understand this woman's mentality, to tell you the truth, Ron. She's way beyond.
It's wild. It's wild to dress up like the kid's grandmother on his birthday and then go parading around. That is, from Meghan Markle, that's a 10 out of 10 for me. From on the Markle scale, that's a 10 out of 10. She's outdone herself. What a great job. Assessing it from a regular human being point of view. Wow.
She's insane, Ron. She's insane. This woman, I don't understand. Yeah. And Kimberly, no shade to her. I swear to God, I did love her and Father of the Bride, but she hasn't had the latest big thing that she was the voice of Alvin and the Chipmunks. She was one of the supporting characters. She said, Meghan Markle can't get A-listers to really hang out with her. So she really is scraping and believe it or not, Kimberly has 800 followers on Instagram. Meghan Markle has 600 and some. And she does have this really, she does this, I was looking at her Instagram. She was just in Honduras not long ago. She does a lot of humanitarian work, and she has a little store in Nashville that is a charity thing, right? that it helped people. You can buy food, groceries for a family for a month,
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But now she's going to be Markle because nobody wants to be associated with Meghan Markle. That because this woman uses people. Meghan Markle is a parasite. I really do think
she's very much become and I feel like she propagates people's downfall at this stage.
she's a
Okay,
parasite. She's a
social stigma and all that. So, but just before we wrap this one up, right? Because the next topic, right, Paula, I want to hear what you've got to say on this next topic. Okay. But is there anything else you want to comment on this story? Because it is fairly obvious. I think the side chat and
No, I
yourself
think it's really sick. I think it's really
Yeah.
sick, guys. I don't even
George's
understand why
birthday.
this woman is not being called out by the press. And and now the press, the lady who interviewed Harry and Meghan Markle for the engagement.
Say that
The
again, Paula?
lady from the BBC who interviewed them just now, she's coming out saying, well, because Meghan Markle said that interview was staged, that she was managed. She wants to always falsely portray this image that she was a prisoner of the royal family, and that they made her sit on that couch, and that they made her say those things, and that they made her sound like she was happy when she was not. So this lady, she accused this BBC of staging everything, of controlling her. So what happened is that this lady just came out and said, what is she talking about? But why did they wait so long? Because when you let stories like that linger for a long period of time, people will forget instead of calling her out right away.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to our next topic, Paula, right? You've been living in a lot of places, right? A lot of countries, a lot of places within countries. You're now in Nicaragua. And
Yes.
I want to hear from all the places you lived in, there's always legends, I would imagine. Okay. Stories of Bigfoots or things that live in the woods, or these it's part of culture. There's always folklore, and there's always things that haunt these folklores. So with all of the places that you've lived in, right, have you heard any stories about what local legends? Have you experienced anything yourself that you can't explain, that is not so much the paranormal but more in the cryptid world, Bigfoots, or sounds you can't explain? And if not, in Nicaragua, is there any legends of such?
Are you kidding? I've actually experienced it.
All right, let's go.
Yes,
We got some content, ladies and gentlemen. We got some content. Let's go.
There is we were during the war in 1978. We were here. I was in Nicaragua, and then
the war in 1978. Okay,
there was a civil war. This is when the dictator Somoza was kicked out and the Sandinistas came to power. So in the 1978, I was stuck here. My father was in Canada. He was just on a trip, and then the war started, and we couldn't get out, and my father couldn't come in.
Damn. Oh, well,
so
story for another time.
There's this lady. That's called carreta. It's like there's this lady supposedly who goes around the streets collecting children. She's dead, right?
Okay.
Children's souls, and it's called carreta. Somebody speaks Spanish on the side chat. Can you please tell me? I'm really screwed on both languages. I'm forgetting language. It's like a carriage. It's like she pushes a little trolley, but it's made out of wood. But nobody can see her, but you can hear her. And I remember we were in El Crucero. El Crucero is an area here up in the mountains here. And my cousin and I were sitting outside, and we saw the stones because they had like stones on the street, loose stones. You can see the loose stones moving, right? And we could hear like this, something like that. I remember my cousin and I looked at each other. It's like we're looking, and I elbowed her and I said, "Shut up!" It's like, "Shut up!" And I looked at her. She's like looking at me. I thought it was you, and I'm like, "No, it's you. Stop it!" And then we looked because our cousins were stupid, and they would always do jokes like that. And we looked behind, but there was nobody. But we could see the gravel, the stones moving, but there was nothing there. And we just ran inside like crazy. I literally almost peed my pants.
And it's interesting that you said that was when there was a war going on as well. It's interesting that you said that you had that experience during a war as well.
That's the name, Carreta Nahua. It's like Carreta Nahua. Carreta
Caretanawa. Right, hang on.
Carretanawa, yeah. It's supposed to be a lady who lost her children and she killed them or something like that. So she wanders the streets looking for her children. So any child she sees that's on the streets. I don't know if it was our parents who told us that, so we wouldn't be hanging out the streets late at night. So we would
Oh,
think,
yeah,
oh,
I found it.
La
La
Carretanawa.
Carreta
Nawa.
Nagua.
Yeah, Carretanawa.
Oh yeah, that is some here's I'll pull up some pictures.
Yes,
It's
please do.
it's creepy. It's very much like the Grim Reaper. I mean, I imagine.
It's a lady, supposed to be a lady.
Oh wait,
That's
that's
Megan's legs.
Yeah, that's Meg's legs.
That's her, but it's supposed to be a lady, and she goes. That's very fancy in Nicaragua. It's that looks more like it. Yeah.
Oh man, what is it with Latina legends, right, and Spanish legends having creepy women?
La Llorona. We have La
center?
Llorona too. Escuelmo in Chile. They have La
Yeah.
Llorona, the crier.
Uh-huh.
We also have that. La Llorona. She
Yeah.
goes crying. But the
Wow.
carretera was supposed to pick the souls of the children out in the street. So my grandparents and my grandfather especially was from.
And am I right in saying culturally that a lot of South American and
There's a
Latina
lot of it
cultures,
here.
they don't talk about it, right? Like talking about it makes it real or is that like grandparents' mindsets? Because a lot of
Oh, we talk about it. We talk about it.
yes.
There's another one. I remember that for a couple of years, my stupid
Okay.
cousin did this to me. This is again during the war. So all of us were in the same house because, we were keeping shelter. So the whole
Yeah.
family was in the same house. And one of my cousins said that, and where we were, El Crucero, is really cold. It's up in the mountains. So it's really cold. Okay. So he said that night, the devil, if you slept without, with your feet and then you didn't cover your feet, the devil will come and lick the sole of your feet, and then that he will suck your soul. And then I didn't know, what he did is, like, we were asleep and he came with a little like a brush and he put water in it and he was doing like that.
Yeah.
I didn't see him and I thought it was the devil. So for a couple of years I was like, I slept with socks for a couple of years and like covers and kinds of things.
I mean, the paranormal, right? Because I would class this less of in the world of cryptid. Still a very good story. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's oh god, I'm dropping things. It's a fascinating legend, right? But I mean, my whole life is deeply rooted in paranormal stuff.
I believe in this crap, by the way.
Yeah.
I believe in this. I have a lot of respect. You are
You
not
know,
going to catch me on a cemetery at all. Like after like the sun is about to set, Paula is out of there,
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually recently changed my entire attitude towards the chemical construction that is fear, right? So when your brain releases all the toxins that makes you feel fear.
Endorphins in that?
No, I mean crippling fear, right? I reinterpret that feeling now, and it's almost like it's the biggest warning system your body can give off is to almost portray you stuck in motion, frozen in one place, unable to do anything, which almost makes me feel like what it would be like to be buried. Okay. And now it's almost like when I get that feeling, it's replaced with adrenaline, right? And the fear almost gets pushed down. So it's almost like that is the highest level of warning you can get to rid of yourself. It's weird. I love doing stuff with my brain. Okay, I'm very much a self-assessor. So you think I'm talking nonsense right now? I would never waste your time and talk nonsense to you. But cryptids, Paula. All right, cryptids. We're going to jump in to the first one. Right, is glowing red-eyed creatures. Okay, glowing red-eyed creatures. Okay. Now, if any of you hang about in this side of the internet, the cryptids,
You sound almost Canadian when you say about.
Well, if you've been hanging about the internet, that's not Canadian. What was that? That was like
Canadians speak like
racist,
that.
is what it was. No, okay. So the red-eyed glowing creatures, right? Now, there's been lots of reports recently, right? And a lot of stuff that's been churned up from a decade and a half ago about red-eyed glowing creatures. Now, believe it or not, one thing America has, right? Very little of, but it still has it, is some of the most incredible examples of ancient forests. Okay, in the Americas, the redwood forests. I mean, the wild America is truly, it's breathtaking, right? But there be some stuff going on in your woodlands, guys. Okay, if anyone of you seen Missing 411, all right, have you followed Missing 411? If you've not, and you are in Australia and you're trying to go to bed, and then you Google Missing 411, I'm sorry that you've missed work tomorrow because you've stayed up all night, because it's wild. It's not. Listen. That's a monkey. That's a monkey. That's not a picture of the red-eyed glow. I don't even know why this is here. Okay, I just wanted the headline. Okay, so don't ignore that. Look at the headline. Just look at this. Look at the words. Ignore this terrible option of a stock image. So there is some stuff going on in the woodlands all around the world. Okay, but the older the woodlands, the more questionable the things are that have been going on. And Missing 411 is going to be something we're going to cover at some point, because if you haven't seen it, you will love it. The way that all the cases are approached. But Paula, when we get into because I think legends, right, and ghosts.
I seriously, I have respect for stuff like that.
Yeah, well, this is the thing about it. So when it comes to ghosts and it comes to legends, like you just spoke of, I feel we're very comfortable with them because it's a story. It's something that we're passing on. But I feel like when it comes to a physical being that's in the legend, when it's a cryptid or a monster, right? My hair stands up on end, right? When we get real evidence. Now, where do you guys land? Okay. My mum is a fan, Paula. And yes, that is a picture of me aged about 7 years old on my mother's freaking Facebook account. On my mum's YouTube account. That's me.
I don't see it. I only see call 911 to report.
No. The comment that's up on the screen.
Where is it? I can't see it. Oh, Paula number 1.
Yeah, that picture is me aged about 8 years old.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
It's Tiny Ron. It's Tiny Ron, ladies and gents. So for me, it gets more exciting, right? Because we can catch these things in nets, right? Because they're not paranormal, they're cryptid. Now, I'm going to show you a video from 14 years ago, all right? And there is a lot of people talking a lot of things about this video. And for me, it's just an incredible example of red-eyed glowing things chasing people through the woods. All right. So we're gonna play and discuss.
All right, boys. This is Camping 2010.
Camping
with
2010 with the boys.
Jeremy and Tom.
What's up?
That I can't hardly see because it's really dark. I can't find the light on this thing, dude.
I will
It's just kind of. I see Trevor waving.
So obviously we've got these guys. They're typical American guys just having a good time. Okay, look at the cell phones, amazing. Okay, and they're living their lives. All right, we skip forward a little bit.
Keep our bugs off of us.
No tent because we're men.
No tent.
That's right, manly men.
We sleep beneath the stars. Discussing the stars. That's right.
Man,
is that a full moon?
Guys, what is that?
It is. I think full moon night. What's what, man?
I seriously saw something over there. Tom, did you not see it?
Dude, they were sitting there for like 2
Jeremy, Trevor.
Dude,
it was over there.
These sound like good old hunting boys. Okay. And, you know, there's always been throughout history a stigma to be the first person that talks up about Bigfoot, being the guy that's scared to be in the woods or whatever. And I just need you to listen, we can talk about acting and staging and all that after you have watched this, right? But just tell me that you do not hear that shift in tone.
We sleep beneath the stars. Discussing the stars. That's right.
That's right. I love the way they say that.
Yeah. Is that a full moon?
Guys, what is that?
I think it is. I think full moon night. What's what, brother?
Seriously, guys. There's I seriously saw something over there. Tom, did you not see it?
Dude, they were sitting there for like 2
Jeremy, Trevor.
Dude.
It was over there.
Dude, whatever, man.
Man, dude, put some more wilderness fire. I am not going to sit here with this thing.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was there for like 2 seconds. Dude, it was probably over there.
Yes, right over there where you're shining the light in that area.
Over there. I've never seen before.
Yes, there was, Jeremy. But Tom and I both saw it, dude.
It was probably a squirrel. It was nuts. It was nuts. I don't know, man. It's not a squirrel. What would you say it was a squirrel? Okay. Woodland creature.
Okay, what squirrel would look like that, Tom?
It's an animal. Okay, we're in the woods. Go figure. Don't lose.
Hey, Tom, guys.
What? Oh my God!
What is that? That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh crap!
It's coming. Oh my God! Get in, guys. Get in. Okay. Where's the keys? I don't know.
Seen it.
Where's
Tom at?
Where's Tom?
Tom.
Okay, so now they're looking for Tom. All right. Now, I'm sorry, but this next part of this little part at the end is the part where I'm just like, okay, I'm sold. So there's the missing.
Are you all right?
Thank God. Are you okay?
Dude, I think I lost it. No, I think it's right behind me. I'm not sure. What is it, dude? What is it? I don't know.
You need to jump. Come on, get down here with us.
You'll have to jump. Come on, not jump. This is too high.
Dude, if you don't jump, it's going to get you. You have to jump.
Oh my gosh!
Come on, Tom.
Oh, swim, man.
Swim, Tom. Swim.
Oh my God! Did you see it?
No, we've not seen it. Wait, what is this?
This is the best bit right here.
Dude,
What is?
oh my gosh, dude, did you see that?
Thank God you're here, man.
That's
the same thing we've been seeing.
That's it. Let's get out of here. Let's find out what that thing was. Dude, it's up there. Look. Sorry, man.
I'm trying to go like right now. Now. What? There it is.
Did you see it? Do you see it?
No. Hold on. Dude, if we get this on camera. There it is. That's it.
Dude, why does it keep chasing us?
I don't know. Oh my goodness. That is,
Dude,
oh my
I think it's about
gosh.
to jump in the water. Are you serious?
Oh my gosh.
So I've got some questions. All right. I got some questions. What do you guys think in the side chat? First of all? Okay. This is from 14 years ago. And I'm telling you now, this has resurfaced with a passion. Okay. And if any of you watch, scariest things caught in camping compilations or these trail cam videos and things like this, you will know this is doing the rounds. Okay. So first question I have is how has this guy got to the other side of the lake? Right. I mean, if they're running away from something and they all ran in the same direction, well, what are you doing up here, buddy? Well, how'd you get there? But what do you think about red-eyed glowing monsters running through the woods, Paula? What do you think?
I don't like them. If they are there, I don't like them.
I mean, do you think? I'm on the fence with this one, right? I mean, it's the end part where they're talking in the boat that makes it all fall apart for me. All right. It all falls apart. But I'm not being funny. At this point, they had me at this point.
Seriously, guys. I seriously saw something over there. There.
They had
here.
me.
I've never seen before.
Squirrel. That's it.
Oh, crap.
And I think a lot of people on the internet were drawn in by this. Now, again, listen, I'm not going to say anything on the stage. It's up to you guys to make your mind up about all this stuff. All right. But have you heard about the man who apparently shot Bigfoots? Did you hear about this? And listen, I'm a big believer in all the topics that we're covering here. So I don't want anyone thinking that I'm sort of poking. Now, have you heard what supposedly a Bigfoot sounds like, Paula?
No.
No. So there's a large community in America and around the world who are Bigfoot hunters, Bigfoot watchers, right? I'm a big believer in Bigfoot. Do you know what's exciting about Bigfoot? I can have a discussion about Bigfoot where there's parameters involved. Okay, so are we going to discuss that it is a big ape-like creature that lives in the wild? Are we going to add, is it paranormal? Is it multi-dimensional? Okay, because people spend a lot of time in the woods in America, all right? And the fact that there's not been a body or a skeleton or anything found is intriguing, but there's a lot of animals that bury the dead and do these things. So it's not completely out of the question that if it was an animal, once it died and it's been pulled apart by things feeding off of it, that it would be hard to ever find. Now, this is apparently what a Bigfoot sounds like. All right, Sasquatch is real. My G. And this is where, but this is the thing, Paula. If it was one video, if this was the only video of this noise, we could all have a laugh about it. But this is a very common occurrence, are these Bigfoot calls. Spangles, I'm down for that conversation. I could also have a conversation that Bigfoot is a time-traveling theater attraction from the future where you and your family can go back in time to 2024 and scare the crap out of people in America in the woods in a big suit. I mean, just as plausible. Okay, but listen to this, Paula. And just I'm telling you now, that and the New Zealand Kiwi noise, I'm leaving, right? I'm not caring what time it is. That the amount of breath, right, that it would take to blow out that noise had to come from something massive, right? Do you know, Richard, I have actually genuinely experienced the phenomenon of the glowing orbs in the woods, the will-o'-the-wisp, whatever you want to call it. Give me a couple of minutes because I got it all on camera, but then it was on a YouTube channel that doesn't exist anymore. So give me a second. I think it's Lights in Woods, actually. Let's see what the computer can find. Because that was mad. That was proper mad. But I've experienced a lot of things in the woods. A lot of things in the woods. Sounds like, yeah, see, an elk, I could believe an elk because they are freaking huge. Like huge, you know? It could be a moose, okay? Where is this? It doesn't tell us. It's just Sasquatch Watchers. So the topic of Bigfoot, the argument, the amount of fake footage, for me, there is one thing that I look for when it comes to Bigfoot footage, and that is distance traveled per stride. Okay? So do you know what I mean by that, Paula?
No.
So when you're walking, right, and your legs are doing this, all right, as a human, unless we are running at full pelt, we've got a pretty standard travel speed, right? But there's footage of Bigfoots and their strides are about the length of our bodies, 6-7 foot stride. And when they're walking and their arms aren't in a fast motion and all the rest, the speed that these things travel at is mind blowing. So that's the one thing that I look for, because that is the one thing that's hardest to be faked is, an 8-9 foot tall creature with a 7-foot stride power walking through the goddamn woods. But a lot of people talking about animal calls, mooses and elks and things like this. And that was honestly one thing that I underestimated, Paula, was when I started wild camping, was the noises of animals and the things that sound absolutely terrifying, but are no way, they're rational. You ever heard foxes mating or anything like that? It's something. But if you didn't know what that was, you would absolutely be terrified. And I think a lot of people fear the unknown. I think that's where a lot of people's running away from things comes from. I adore the unknown. I absolutely love it because I think it's something that we've been trained to forget about. But 10 years ago, right, there was a story about a guy who went into the woods. Him and his friends, they shot they shot basically an adult Bigfoot and a child Bigfoot, a baby Bigfoot, right? And then they buried them. And then he went and done a lie detector test when he came back, and he said he couldn't fathom the fact of how human the faces were of these animals. He was convinced one of them was a bear to begin with. He done a lie detector test. It was all proven that he wasn't lying. And it just makes you wonder what Sasquatch and Bigfoot, what they do with their dead. Because if stories like that are real, okay.
Well, don't you think that it could be just an elderly person who lives there and just wander around, people who are completely isolationist and just want to, have anything to do with the world, and they're living out like Eskimos, that they're just wearing furry things, and they created those stories to keep people away.
Well, it could be, but it's. I'll touch on that in just 1 second. Listen, Kay, tell your daughter when she gets there to set up her camp in the daytime and lie down and listen to all the noises that are in the woods when it's daytime and get used to them. Also, don't sleep in a tent. The tent is a bad idea. You want a tarp, so that when you are awake, you have a level sight of a 360 from around where you are camping. I do not get people in tents. Like, what you're going to do, you're now in a bubble, basically a big bubble that says there's a person in here and I can't see you. All right? Nah. It's not for me, mate. I like to dig a trench. Like, I like sleeping in a ditch with a very low res camping setup. And sometimes I just take bin liners and duct tape just to prove that, you ain't going to kill me, nature. Not today. Now, Scotland, we've got our own legends. We've got Loch Ness. We've got all of the wonders that are the big cats that are actually real. But my most intense. It must be on a different hard drive. I will try and find this footage. But my most insane time in the woods was Thor and I were up the Pentland Hills, and the Pentland Hills is owned by the Ministry of Defence. They do military training up there. It's technically military land, but we have right of way up there because we have the right to roam. So that's where I would go camping. Multiple times you would be in the middle of cooking sausages and like 200 freaking soldiers would turn up to do a training exercise, and you'd be kept up all night with blank firers and smoke things going off and all the rest of it. It's interesting, I have to say. Now, on this night, where I was camping was in like a man-made pine forest that was rows of trees. So it looked, you could see down paths of tree, okay, because it was all planted that way, right? And as you got to the edge of the trees, it opened up into a field that dipped down and then went up to another little man-made forest part. Now, at this point, I'd spent 2 years wild camping at least once or twice a week. I was an expert on my surroundings in these areas. I know what an off-road vehicle is. I know what a van sounds like. I know what sort of what a camper with a torch looks like. I know how physics work, all right? So I'm sitting there in my camp, and noticeably, the entire woodlands went silent, right? It was like someone just went like this. The leaves, the animals, the wind, everything, right? Stopped. And I had the weirdest feeling that somebody was there, but it was okay, right? The next thing I heard was like as if very light things were running around in the woods, right? And it was almost like the sound was drawing me to look down a certain path. And as I looked down a certain path, there was a ball of light with a ring of lights around it, just dancing around, hovering around in that field area that I described. Okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is going on? Like it was so, there was no sound. My dog was asleep, right? Thor was asleep beside me. And he says, there you go. So, and Thor never doesn't react to stuff, right? And it was like I was hypnotized by this light. And I think I sat and watched and filmed it for about 45 minutes. And it wasn't until I stopped filming that I even thought about the dog, if I'm being honest, because I could feel him at the bottom of my feet. Now, this ball of light moved closer and came up towards this is the part that fucking blew my mind, right? So it's hovering about in the grassy area for about 40 minutes, but it's getting bigger and smaller, and the ring's moving, and the lights are going into it, and then sometimes the ring's coming out of it, and it then moves towards the edge of the woods, and I physically watch it pass through the first row of trees where you could see the light going boom, 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 past the trees at the sides. Then it stopped, shrunk back into a ball, and went backwards and into the field and disappeared. It was almost like for the first time, it was aware of me being scared. Because up until then, I felt like something very playful was happening, right? There was no fear. I didn't feel like there was anything to worry about. I didn't feel like there was it didn't feel creepy. It just felt playful for some reason. But then when I seen my brain not having any other way of rationalizing what I was seeing, when I seen the lights going around the trees, I was like, oh, that's coming towards me. And that's nothing I can explain. Right? It was low down, dude. Like we're talking, if I'd been standing up, it would have been at my eye level. Right? And then it was like, as soon as I got a moment of fear, it disappeared. The wind picked up again, and then the dog woke up, right? And I got all of this on film on a very old camera, and you can see the little ball of light. I mean, it looks like 4 pixels on a screen. Do you know what I mean? This is shitty phone era. So I'll try and dig that out. I cannot explain that. And I mean, I can't explain that from I'm too stupid and don't understand the paranormal. How big were the orbs? The orb that came towards me, I would have said would have had to have been about the size of a standard beach ball. I would say, if I'm being honest, yeah, about the size of a beach ball. So there's this thing called the Willow of the Wisp, which, and you know, science tries to explain this as swamp gas. Oh, Paula has dropped. So Willow of the Wisp are these mythical little orby light things that are meant to float around, you know, within the Celtic world. And they are, you know, talked about throughout history. This is more on the realm of what I was seeing, I would think. So very interesting, man. Really interesting. But that, I believe, was entirely to do with the Pentland Hills. No, the grass is relatively well maintained because of how many sheep munch on it. So that it was quite it was a flat grassed, semi-open plain with a dip, a little bit of water running through it. Like there's a very small burn that runs through, and it just floated over that shit too. But it was wild because to me, that wasn't a ghost. It wasn't an alien. That was an old thing from the hills, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that was an old thing from the hills. I don't know how else to explain it. Makes perfect sense to me, right? But it was awesome. It was awesome. And it's like it respected me because it didn't want me to be uncomfortable. And that's when the whole thing ended, when it realized that it had came a little too close. And it was fascinating. It really was. So that was awesome. Then there was the old man breathing down my neck in the woods. I remember standing at a reservoir, and I just set up my camp. It's maybe about 2:00 in the morning. It's pitch dark. I'm a big believer in night vision. Like, I don't want to be, if I'm low res camping, I'm not standing around my camp with a head torch on me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've got a couple of little things that I use for fire. I let my my night vision get good, and I've got red lens stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I'm standing there and I'm looking out at the water, and it was like right here. Was it? Yeah, this side came right up and just went. That's what it sounded like. Do you know what I mean? Wild, right? That was wild. What else? I mean, in the woods, I had a very profound religious experience in the woods, but we're not going to touch on that today. But do not ever think that if you're standing in a woods, whether it's man-made or whether it's an old forest, that you are not in a world that we barely understand. You know, trees hold each other's roots. If they have all come from, and it's the same with plants. If you take the seeds from one plant and plant all of those seeds in one pot, and then take a seed from another plant, it's obviously the same plant variety, but from another seed pod or another flower head that's from a different plant, same species, and plant that there, they will not support that foreign plant. It's like the ones that know they're related all hold their roots and they share nutrients and all of this. And forests do the same thing. And when people talk about magic and the spiritual world and ancient beings and all of this, I think we often look and crave for the Hollywood examples, right? People flying, fireballs, yeah? Like a mystical being taking a mystical shape in the woods and being like, I will bestow my knowledge upon thee. You know, it's not like that. Like, people underestimate the subtleties, right, of those worlds, okay? And there's been so many occasions, right, where small little tiny villages in Brazil that are hardcore believers in Christianity, sorry, have manifested unexplainable phenomenon recorded by the Vatican, right? We're talking about bleeding crosses. We're talking about bleeding eyes that are genuinely unexplainable. In places where at the center of these entire communities is their religion and faith. Okay? And I don't mean, oh, me and my Auntie Christine, we go up to the church once a week and we read the Bible every year. I mean, at the center of everything. They believe and they walk and they breathe everything. That belief is what I believe creates these phenomena. Now, when we apply mass belief and manifestation in that way, right? If we all disbelieve in these worlds and magic and this phenomenon, has that been what many think has killed it off? Has science destroyed our ability to accept without question or reason when it comes to anything that hasn't been written in one of 3 books that are the main religions of the world? Because that's how I feel. Right? I feel like people don't really understand the power of timing. All right. If you don't think that timing has anything magical about it, when you ask a question and then something happens around you, almost as if they're nudging you into taking an answer or to go a certain way. It's about people's perception. It'd be a lot easier if a genie manifested and was like, bet on red, my G. It doesn't work like that. And I think a lot of people and the world, the way that we are now so happy to isolate ourselves, even in the family unit. You can be in a room full of people, and if we were all staring at our phones, we're still isolated, if you see what I mean. And that collective thought and storytelling and legends that we've spoken about just now, it's not being handed over from story. It's being read off a screen. Metaphor. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's that bad. It's not a globally. No, it's not. Everyone's just sitting. I mean, you probably are all staring at your phones right now. I am part of the problem. No, I'm kidding. But it's one of those things that fascinates me. And for me, I don't go off nothing I read in the internet when it comes to these worlds and magic and the things we can't explain. I am 24/7 living in my own personal science experiment. Yeah, because there is stuff that goes on that you can choose to not believe until it's explained to you, or you can embrace it and see what the next step has in store for you. And that's what I've chosen to do. Anyway, that got deep. All right. Okay. Do you want to end it on an AI created song about farting? Yeah? Okay. All right. Yeah, there's definitely something out there. 100%. The fairies, the Bigfoots, the frickin' how are they called? Nessie, that big guy, big cheeky chap. And don't get me started on the ocean, right? I tell you what, see, before we figure out the world and the magic, let's reach the bottom of the sea, right? Jesus Christ. You imagine what's down there? Oh my God. I'm just saying, the sea is mad. Mariana Trench with a freaking ledge in that, the size of, like, not Arthur's Seat, mate. That's over there. Not Ben Nevis either. What are you doing, Brain? That big tall one. Mount Everest. Nailed it. Mad. The sea is wild. That's all I'm saying. What is going on here? Yeah, can you guys all just remember as well to like and share? And we're going to end the show right here because it's been a good one. Do I believe in jinns? Yeah, jinns are the manifestation. They are a spirit that is manifested by someone, right? And they're a bit spicy sometimes. But I'm pretty sure all of these things get a bad name because it's really only the bad stories that people tell, if that makes sense. Because trust me, and I don't want to trigger too many of the Christian community all simultaneously at once, but demons in a modern sense are absolutely any god outside Judaism, Hinduism, and Christianity. Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. There we go, nailed it. Anything out with that time frame is now a goddamn demon. Okay, fairies, demon. Woodland pixie creatures, demon. Bigfoot, demon. All right, these things are all labeled because it's witchcraft, it's heresy. So if you believed in the sun god now, demon. All right, that's it's a pretty skimming over the deeper roots of it all way of summing it up, but that's kind of how it is. The Meg. And I'm not joking. The sea is mad. But yeah, listen, we're not really going to end on a song about somebody farting, just so you know. All right, love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Just chilling away. Then came a rumble I had. Something wasn't right. Yeah. Could feel it inside. Then came a blast. I shot it inside. I